So today we're talking about specialized knowledge. I think we've kind of gone over it yesterday. Believe it or not, you guys developed some specialized knowledge yesterday. Like, how many of you guys are so prepared to ask the, customers for documentation? I know I took action. I know yesterday, immediately after I did Game Changer, I texted, and if you guys haven't received it, ask somebody here. But I texted a few people the needs list. Tell me why they told me pick it up at 6. So I'm like 6, 7, 8. I picked up a bunch of documentation. And the point is, let me show you guys the documentation because I set it up for.
Okay.
So this is what I want you guys to rate yourself on, how fast you're taking action. And I went through the checklist, and look how this couple was motivated to buy. Remember we talked about ID, Social Security card. Remember we talked about their income documentations. Remember we talked about their tax returns. I went out and got this. How many did you guys go and get? And if you didn't, you're weak. I want you guys to know that because you guys should be texting people every single day, especially if you're in a business where you know you have to close sales. Does that make any sense? I got 3 of these. Ask yourself, how many can you get a day? I'm looking at the income, and some of them are like, oh, damn, I wasted my time. But hey, at least I was there specializing in my service, and I'm just finely tuning. For example, David, today you have an appointment. You mentioned something that was key. The seller's not going to be there. Is that a waste of time? Potentially. Is there an opportunity for a shot that you can take? Yes, there is. Would you take that shot? I know I would. You know what? One of these persons told me when I went. They just filed for unemployment. You know what I thought? Oh man, why'd you call me? But the reality is that I'm just practicing my specialized skill, and I was so motivated from Game Changer. I'm like, I got to start asking people for their financial documents. So this is the approach that I want you guys to take today. But anyway, let's read before I start scolding you guys because I have something to talk to you guys about this morning. The road to specialized knowledge. We have in this country what is said to be the greatest public school system in the world. One of the strange things about human beings is that they value only that which has a price. Road to specialized knowledge. Probably all did. Oh, you got it too?
Yeah, I came in the mail.
Oh, nice. Road to specialized knowledge. So they did not impress people because they are free. This is a major reason why so many people find it necessary to acquire additional training after they quit school and go to work. It is also one of the major reasons why employers give greater consideration to employees who take home study courses. They have learned from experience that any person who has the ambition to give up a part of his spare time to studying at home has in him those qualities which make for leadership. There is one weakness in people for which there is no remedy. It is the universal weakness of lack of ambition. That's why I mentioned to you guys how many of you guys did it, because I want you guys to develop ambition. Persons, especially salary people who schedule their spare time to provide for home study, seldom remain at the bottom very long. Their action opens the way for the upward climb, removes many of obstacles from their path, and gains the friendly interest of those who have the power to put them in the way of opportunity. The home study method of training is specially suited to the needs of employed people who find after leaving school that they must acquire additional specialized knowledge but cannot spare the time to go back to school. I think you're on page 63. You go on there? I hope that's the one. Stuart Austin Weir prepared himself as a construction engineer and followed this line of work until the Depression limited his market to where it did not give him the income he required. He took inventory of himself, decided to change his profession to law, went back to school and took special courses by which he prepared himself as a corporate lawyer. He completed his training, passed the bar examination, and quickly built a lucrative law practice. Just to keep the record straight and to anticipate The alibis of those who will say, I couldn't go to school because I have a family to support, or I'm too old. I will add the information that Mr. Weir was past 40 and married when he went back to school. Moreover, by carefully selecting highly specialized courses in colleges best prepared to teach the subjects chosen, Mr. Weir completed in 2 years the work for which the majority of law students require 4 years. It pays to know how to purchase knowledge. So here's a simple idea that paid off. Let us consider a specific instance. A salesman in a grocery store found himself suddenly unemployed. Having had some bookkeeping experience, he took a special course in accounting, familiarized himself with all the latest bookkeeping and office equipment, and went into business for himself. Starting with the grocer from who he had formerly worked, he made contracts with more than 100 small merchants to keep their books at a very nominal monthly fee. His idea was so practical that he soon found it necessary to set up a portable office in a light delivery truck, which he equipped with modern bookkeeping machinery. He now has a fleet of those bookkeeping offices on wheels and employs a large staff of assistants, thus providing small merchants with accounting services equal to the best that money can buy at a very nominal cost. Specialized knowledge plus imagination were the ingredients that went into this unique and successful business. Last year, the owner of the business paid an income tax of almost 10 times as much as was paid by the merchant who he worked when he lost his job. The beginning of his successful business was just an idea. In as much as I had the privilege of supplying the unemployed salesman with that idea, I now assume that further privilege of the suggesting another idea, which has within the possibility of even greater income. The idea was suggested by the salesperson who gave up selling and went into the business of keeping books on a wholesale basis. When the plan was suggested as a solution of his unemployment problem, he quickly exclaimed, I like the idea, but I would not know how to turn it into cash. In other words, he complained he would not know how to market his bookkeeping knowledge after he acquired it. So that brought up another problem which had to be solved. With the aid of a young woman typist who could put the story together, a very attractive book was prepared, describing the advantages of the new system of bookkeeping. The pages were neatly typed and pasted into an ordinary scrapbook, which was used as a silent salesman with which the story of this new business was effectively told that its owner soon had more accounts than he could handle. A tested plan for landing the ideal job. There are thousands of people all over the country who need the services of merchandising specialists capable of preparing an attractive brief for use in marketing personal services. The idea here described was born of necessity to bridge an emergency which had to be covered, but it did not stop by serving merely one person. The woman who created the idea has a keen imagination. She saw in her newly born brainchild the making of a new profession to serve thousands of people who need practical guidance in marketing personal services. Spurred to action by the instantaneous success of her first prepared plan to market personal services, this energetic woman turned next to the solution of a similar problem for her son, who had just finished college but had been totally unable to find a market for his services. The plan she originated for his use was the finest specimen of merchandising of personal services I have ever seen. When the plan book had been completed, it contained nearly 50 pages of beautifully typed, properly organized information telling the story of her son's native ability schooling, personal experiences, and great variety of other information too extensive for description. The plan book also contained a complete description of the position her son desired, together with a marvelous word picture of the exact plan he would use in filling the position. The preparation of the plan book required several weeks of labor, during which time its creator sent her son to the public library almost daily to procure data needed in selling his services to best advantage. She sent him also to all the competitors of his prospective employer and gathered from them vital information concerning their business methods, which was of great value in the information of the plan he intended to use in filling the position he sought. When the plan had been finished, it contained more than half a dozen very fine suggestions for the use and benefit of the prospective employer. You know what, all I could think about during this time that we're reading, and get ready to write notes right now, because I'm going to give you guys some very good information. And this is going to be an opening for your guys' Monday game changer. Take on those tasks to make that stuff happen. Did you guys hear what this lady did for her son that had no hope in college? She helped him put together a very, very good presentation. I think some of us lack presentation sometimes, and since we don't have the presentation, we don't have the ability to really, really focus on what we want. So all I could think about as I'm reading this chapter relevant to our business, look at your presentations when you're representing buyers and sellers. They might suck. They might not be what they want. You guys got to present a presentation where the client is going to be like, hey, he left me such a good, this guy's talking about how many pages on a book. I don't think that's necessary anymore. But hey, the more information you can provide to the customer, the better that you'll be prepared. This is what you considered specialized. So anyway, let's go into the topic of specialized information. And I took some notes for you guys yesterday night, just because I couldn't go to sleep thinking about how can we convert more sales in this time of crisis when everybody else is messing up on their mindset. I see so much commotion. I see so many things happen, but at the same time, I see a lot of closings right now. So I want you guys to really, really write down, I'm specialized. I'm a specialized professional. That's super important to me. So here's the thing. I want you guys to keep it real in sales. I want you guys to put down sales. I want you guys to put down business. And I want you guys to put down life. So write those three things down: sales, business, and life. You want to know what's beautiful about sales, business, and life? You guys want to know?
Yeah.
Yes.
These are the three things that you guys can control. These are the three things that you guys can constantly control. So let me get you guys to write down. You can control these three things, number one, by writing this down: your actions. What are your actions every single day? And I'm trying to come down hard on some of you guys because all of us want to be top producers, but we don't want to pay the price to be top producers. That's why I want you guys to really commit. You guys were given a tool yesterday. Send the people that are on the wall about buying that very simple needs list that you learned yesterday. It worked for me, and I did it at like 12:30. And one of the persons that I went to pick up these papers, you know what they told me? I didn't think you were going to show up. I was thinking this, excuse me? Like, I'm not going to show up? That's what they think about us. They don't think we're going to show up. And I'm thinking, I wonder how many other people think about that. That's why when I send the list, they don't take it serious, because they're like, I'll gather it in a couple of weeks. By the time he remembers, then he'll follow up, and then we'll get into the process. He said, I don't think you were going to show up. I'm like, I told you that the minute you had the needs list ready, I was going to pick it up. And he could have emailed me the whole thing, but I felt that the consumer, his thought was all like, how am I going to email you all this personal information? So automatically I'm like, this is not the customer that I could say, hey, I'll email it to me and then we'll figure out. This is the customer that I got to grab that bull by the horns and I got to show up to their workplace and I got to go pick it up. And if you guys have been around me in the sales environment, I constantly go pick up financials for customers because I constantly want them to understand, I'm not just trying to get you to email this. Like, I'm going to go get this. You know how personal this is that they gave me this? This is very personal. All of their income documentations. I sat there and I'm like, bank statements, and I'm like, out of the game changer, what I learned, I'm like, they don't have enough funds on this account. I'm like, where's all the money at? You know what the guy told me? He said there was $30,000 at home in cash. And I'm thinking to myself, that's dumb that you would tell me that. You don't know me yet. But then I learned they trust me. If I tell you I have 30,000, I better be prepared to like, hey, he might rob me. You know what I'm saying? But they trust me. You know why they trust me? Because I went there and I got the information. So I strategize. I'm like, realistically, I'm going to pre-qualify you. But the reality is that you're not going to be buying in the next 2 months. And then they're like, why? We want to buy in 30 days. I said, okay, then find me somebody that has all that money. You're going to give them the money and I'm going to get the return, the statement. You see how I'm already so specialized that I'm not going to run into this underwriting issue at the 11th hour because I already went and I made it personal. That's why I want you guys to be very mindful. Number one, your actions. Number two, super important, your reactions. How are you reacting to your actions? How are you reacting to yourselves? How are you reacting to your business? And how are you relating to your normal life? And number three, which is the most important, is your mindset. That story in this Think and Grow Rich book of that little kid that couldn't hear, that went and got 6 cents, and then went and got newspaper, flipped it. The mom was like, no, my baby, don't do anything to my baby. And the dad's all like, hell no, you're gonna get out there, you're gonna hustle. Do you understand how your actions are gonna get you somewhere or they're not gonna get you somewhere? Then we've jumped the actions part of it. Now your reactions. I assume that you guys, and I'm confident that you guys are gonna be closing a massive amount of business that you need to learn how to react to these things. We were put in very stressful situations in the last 5 days. I kid you not, I was one day when I had 5 problems right on top of me, back to back to back. I was all like, damn, this is so much information that's being provided. What did I work on is my reaction. I can't react. If I react, I'm gonna mess things up and I'm gonna be explosive. Can you guys control your reactions, yes or no?
Yes.
So this is what I want you guys to practice. Whenever you find yourself getting out of your comfort zone, document how you're reacting to it. Somebody pisses you off, document how you feel about it. There's a way that you can change your reaction so that your sales job can be very, very efficient. I say this all the time. If I'm not doing well in my relationships, I can't even be on the phone closing clients. I'm so stressed out thinking about my personal life that I'm like, how do I close the consumer? And believe it or not, they could feel that. So I want you guys to write down the mindset. If you guys didn't write it out, why are we reading 10 minutes a day? It's not a lot. You just got to do it. Guys, what I'm trying to prepare you is that you guys are going to make $10,000 a pop on some of these deals. If your mindset is not strong, you're going to continue stopping. And that's when you start to experience defeat. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Yes.
So very important. Instead of whining about things that are out of your control, why don't you guys take control of the things you can? Oh man, the people on the phone are so negative. Nobody wants to answer. Nobody wants to set an appointment. Are those out of your control? Yes. What's in your control? That you can do more of those phone calls to get more results. You guys have to understand that there's a difference by things that are in your control from things that are out of your control. Focus on what you can control now. And I see you guys, I see a lot of the agents, I'm like, man, they're setting appointments. We're showing a lot of homes. I've been signing more PEAT applications than ever. And I'm like, people are showing in our company. We need to make sure that all of us are in the exact same mindset. So here's the most important part of it. Focus on your energy because the energy is what you guys can control. And sometimes my family tells me, you're so mean. I'm like, I'm not mean, I'm just focused. You need to understand how that works. Sometimes the meanness is translated into you're in a very bad mood. No, you have control over that. So when I hear that you're being really mean, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm extremely focused. Like, oh, he's not talking to me today. It's not that I'm not trying to talk to you. It's just that I have a laser focus. So let me get that. Is that under my control? versus the reacting of like, no, what do you think? Why do you think I'm eating? Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to get over these things. I'm just telling you because in sales, it's going to happen constantly. You're going to say something?
No.
You're ready to react? Your reaction? So focus on your energy and you can control it. So number one, your attitude is very important. What type of attitude do you have? I have bad attitude sometimes. I learned that from my dad. Like people used to come over to the house and he used to go into his room. It's like, Dad, that looks really bad. Like they want to see you, you know what I'm saying? Like it's uncomfortable that you're going into your room. So you're able to control your attitude. Number two, your choices. You're able to control your choices. What is your daily choice, and are you choosing to pick up the phone and follow up on the lead constantly? Are you doing that or are you not? Your emotions. I wrote down emotions because emotions are so important. Can you control your emotions, yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you can. What about your goals? Can you control your goals?
Yes.
Again, another little commercial for my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you are not writing down your goals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're not going to get to where you need to get to. Write them down. Visualize them. Auto-suggest them. Stupid things. The dumbest thing. I want to own a black suit. I want it to be this specific color. I get so detailed with my written goals and requests that it's like, man, you really wanted to get it that detailed. Yes, I want to know what I want all the time. It's under my control. Your ambitions. Like right now, I'm rating your guys' ambitions because after I'm giving you golden nuggets, if you're not running from it, if you're not running with it, you're just putting it in there and you're stuck at the action part of it. And I'm going to hold you accountable because if I can do it with my 500 busy schedule, 500 calls and all that stuff, and I'm still collecting applications at 6 or 7, you guys should be able to do the exact same thing. There's just something that you need to trigger where you have to develop that ambition and passion. What are your dreams? Do you guys have dreams? I have some big dreams. I see myself in Miami. I want to have a condo on the beach. Why do I want to have that? Because I know I'm going to have to retire one day. And I know I'm going to want to be next to the beach. Now, is that a dream? Can that be something difficult to reach? I don't know. It's all in my mindset. And those things are stupid. I talk to a lot of people in my family like, oh, I'm going to try to do this. And they're like, oh, God, here you go again. And I'm like, what's my track record? Still winning, right? Yes, yes, you are. I'm like, all right, so just wait. But it's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner constantly all the time. And the reason that I'm starting you guys off on Friday so you guys could relax a little bit is that Monday, I'm going to teach you guys how to be fanatical. I'm going to teach you guys how I develop these 3 people within a 2-hour period just from being fanatical. Like this couple here, I got them on Facebook. I went on Facebook. I got them on everything. I emailed their business emails. I emailed their personal emails. I Katie Cord them. I sent them properties. And then yesterday, when they finally bid, they had already sent me the property that they wanted. They're like, this is the specific house that I want. And they even told me, it's not even, you're not going to see it on the MLS. We found it on Zillow, and on Zillow it says that the agents can't call until the specific. So I'm triggered to like, man.
Sometimes that with when they have the agent.
I know we're as an association, we're really trying to work hard against that because that's like, it doesn't level out the playing field. And that's a whole nother topic. I've been against Zillow my whole life because I didn't think Zillow was necessary. But unfortunately, the consumer is very driven towards online purchasing now. Yeah, so that's the thing. But I mean, the California Association of Realtors, along with the National Association of Realtors, has been fighting Zillow, Redfin, and all those things so that they could eliminate the whole coming soon because it doesn't allow us to play in our, you know, like it's not fair to me if Abraham puts up a deal that I don't have access to, yet I have a license to do it. Zillow is notorious for that. Does that make any sense? Yeah. So they kind of corral the market. We were talking about dreams. I wrote down, what are your desires? My desire constantly is to have a very, very healthy environment at home. Because that's important to me. I want to make sure that everybody, my desire is for, I was having a conversation with my 12-year-old daughter and I'm like, man, like you constantly wake up and you throw your weight around this whole house because you're not a morning person. I'm like, my desire is for all of us to have an environment where we could all be comfortable. How many of you guys have those people in your family that wake up, it's like, I get it, you're not a morning person, but geez, you've
Yeah,
already
yeah,
ruined the
attitude that
whole,
look.
you've already ruined the whole thing. So you know what I'm saying? So my desire is to fix that. So what I do, I provide training for people around me. You guys have to understand, you guys are the leaders. I get it, I'm the one talking in front of you, but you guys are the leaders. People look at you and I'm like, man, I wish I was Teresa, that I had the courage and the will to leave my job and go 100% into sales. That's courage. You guys already have that leadership. So many people are looking at you guys from the outside in, wondering, how do I get to that level? They don't have the training. They don't have the desire. They don't have the dream. They don't have all that stuff. Here's the one that I wrote down that really stands out the most to me. Your discipline. How disciplined are you? You know how much of a discipline it is to show up every single morning? Especially Fridays. Fridays like cafecito, we're gonna have a breakfast and kind of hang out, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. When I first started, when I was doing a very small amount of sales, it was always that constant battle. Like, we gotta have coffee, we're gonna watch KTLA 5 News, we're gonna have breakfast. That's like 11 o'clock by the time we're done. It's like 11:30 by the time I shower, get ready. It's 12:30. I land at the office at 1. I join my buddies at the office. We catch up for about 2 hours. All of a sudden, it's 3 o'clock, and I haven't done one sales call. Then I get back home and I wonder why the accountability is so high when the bills have to get paid. Does that make any sense? How disciplined are you to really take on the activity that you need to take? Guys, we're not asking
Real talk
about
right there.
I know, it's like,
Real talk.
it's so scary. So you need to choose between what you want now and what you want most. You need to make sure that you guys are choosing that. That's so important for you guys. So this is a breakthrough for the book that we're going to be doing next month. And I'm starting it off as a game changer, but I need you guys to write down fanatical prospecting. I've talked about this book before. I'm retouching the subject about fanatical prospecting because you need to have a clear understanding of how you're going to do it properly. So I want you guys to write this down because this is what Jeb Blunt says. I got coached from him when I first dove into the book, and his strategy was like, go after the people that are the gatekeepers, develop relationship with gatekeepers, and then break through to the actual decision makers. So we're going to learn about gatekeepers. Gatekeepers are going to be the ones that are going to generate you a lot of business. Gatekeepers are some of the people that are clicking on our social sites and our landing pages that are representing somebody else. Like in my family, when anything comes up with finance, they make me the gatekeeper. Jesse, you read the bank statements. It's like they're numbers. I can't translate those. They're just numbers. Like numbers are English and Spanish. Okay, that was a big joke, but you guys got it. Right? I'll stop right there. I'm the gatekeeper when it comes down to calling for my parents' insurance. I'm the gatekeeper for all those things. A lot of these people that are clicking that are buyers, they're not the actual buyers. They're the gatekeeper to the buyer, but the buyer doesn't have enough knowledge, so that person gets on there.
I just had one like that. Blanca Ramirez. She owns a house, but that's the one that I was talking to you about. She's about to lose it, but she has a problem. She hasn't paid it in 4 months. But she was looking for her sister. But now she's, that's like.
So she's the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
So the gatekeeper is like today, there's a gatekeeper. How do we figure out how to get and break through to these gatekeepers? The gatekeepers are make or breakers sometimes. One of the quotes that he put together in this book that we're going to be going over on Monday, because I'm going to teach you guys how to fanatically prospect. Like I have leads that they ghost me on some sites. I'll find them on LinkedIn, Twitter, Tinder. I'm just kidding. I don't have Tinder. I know. Oh, that was a good one. Okay. So here's the secret that separates superstars from everyone else. How many of you guys want to be a superstar? What if I told you you're already a superstar? You're already a superstar. You do not want to be. You're already a superstar. I'm a superstar. I wake up every single day, and the one thought that I have in my mind is, what does a multimillionaire do differently than I do? I honestly don't think they do anything different. They wake up, they get up. I'm sure they do a little bit of meditating, which is really quick. I'm sure they do the same coffee. What makes a difference is the decisions that I'm going to make today to get to that. Some people have it easier than others, but I'm not going to focus on, oh, he has it easier. I'm going to focus on what do I have to do. So what separates superstars from everyone else and why they consistently outperform other salespeople is their fanatical prospecting. My business did not start to grow until I realized that I was not a house seller or a house salesperson. I was a professional lead generator. Does that make sense to you guys? Can I get you guys to transition into thinking you're going to sell a product, a house? Guys, people pay us for paperwork. We never physically have to pick up a house and be like, oh, here's the house. It's for sale. I'll take you the house. Ever. You never have to do that. All you have to do is use what's up here. Yes, David, sorry.
No, I was gonna say the fanatical prospect. I love that book, by the way.
Have you read it already?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
what I was gonna say is the difference between like normal prospecting, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it when I'm in the office. And fanatical prospecting is like you're always about it.
Yeah.
Like I remember I got a listing appointment. My car broke down, and the guy towing my car, I started talking to him about real estate. It turned into a listing appointment. Like I'm always about
Fanatical.
my life is about real estate. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
So yesterday, my actions were fanatical. My actions like, no, I need to make a decision that if I need to fill that pipeline, I need to go get people that are qualified. And it's going to be easier and easier. So this is what he says. Superstars, and I would write down, are relentless. You just said you were relentless. You faced a big old roadblock, and guess what? Did you stop there? Absolutely not. What did you do? You're like, let me talk to the towing guy. He looks like he has $100,000 income. So they're relentless. Superstars are relentless and unstoppable prospectors. That's what David just said. Unstoppable prospectors. Yesterday, I handed out my business card for like 5 to 10 people. And I think right around like 7 people, somebody turned me down. And I got to 8, and the guy says, I know somebody that needs to buy like right now. I'm like, okay, here's my information. Matter of fact, give me your information. Follow him on Instagram. He's already going through the whole pre-qual. I already told him he's going to get all the documents from me. That's how fanatical prospectors function. Look at this. They prospect anywhere and anytime. That's how fanatical I need you guys to be. You prospect anywhere and anytime, constantly turning over rocks, looking for their next opportunity. Guys, you guys drive by a for sale by owner. Why don't you get off and talk to them? The worst thing that can happen is they're going to shut that door in your face, and what? You miss 100% of the shots you guys are not taking. Absolutely. And you'd be surprised. A lot of these people are looking for people with an actual structured service. That's what Think and Grow Rich has said this morning. You structure a specialized service, they're going to give you the deals. It's just what you want to make out of it. So fanatical prospectors prospect day and night. I'm on the phone sometimes till like 9:30, and I get it. A lot of my coaching has been telling me, Jesse, you got to learn how to shut it off. But my mind is like, I can't right now. Unless my mom and dad want to give you a silver spoon, which I know they can. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have that opportunity. But again, I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life to be taking calls. What is our goal in real estate? To have passive income. I want you guys to own 10 properties where you're just like, I can stop working today and I'll be good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the goal. Unstoppable and always on. Your business is unstoppable and always on. I deal with a lot of people and I'm like, how come you ain't replying? Like the text messages are so easy. Like even in 4 hours, reply in a 4-hour period. But I know I work with a lot of people that I'm like, man, it's been a day or two and I gotta really double tap and question mark on the iPhone now just to see what kind of like, are you there? Touching up, following up on the conversation. So today, I want you guys to go into the weekend. I want you guys to be fanatical. For the guys that are just joining us on the journey, for the people that are watching, be fanatical about it. Tell people about it. All it takes is that one gatekeeper to say, hey, you know what? I really like the way David works. He's really good. And all of a sudden, the gatekeeper is your #1 source of business. This happened to me when I first started. This lady gave me the first opportunity. Her name is Victoria Morales on 14934 Cobalt Street. I'll never forget it. This lady fed me like 15 deals in my first year. The gatekeeper, that was the most difficult. But you know what I did differently? I was fanatical. They said, I gotta go, I got the documents. Oh, don't worry, I'll go pick them up. Showed up, made that, planted that seed. I'm literally trying to get the customer to commit to me 100%. Are they gonna cheat sometime? Yeah, they are. But the thing is that in your fanatical prospecting, your pipeline is so full, it's like, I don't care, that one could cancel. Obviously, I don't want you guys to do that, but I want you to get to the traction of picking and choosing your customers. Pick and choose your customers wisely. Do you guys?